I want to share with you an area of the garden I very rarely show in any of my 500 plus videos, and that is the corner just behind me. So let's have a closer look. So this is the area I rarely film, and that is because it's been left. So it's my tree fern area, which I do show from the other side. But generally I don't go down this bottom corner to show you actually what's growing other than the tree ferns. So I thought in this video we'll have a look at this area in a bit more detail and how it's definitely going to change due to my sort of transformation of my garden. So a few years ago I cleared this corner, which used to be a greenhouse left by the previous owners of the garden. I completely cleared it of all the rubble and everything else in the greenhouse base. I put a raised beds in here, put some decking down and planted quite a few nice tree ferns, including a couple of double headers like this one here, and then some ground ferns and other bits and pieces. But with it being at the very bottom of the garden, furthest away from anywhere, and the path doesn't go anywhere, you sort of walk in here, you get to the end and there's nowhere else to go other than turn round. I didn't really come down here very often, and the tree ferns grew bigger, and when all the leaves unfurl they completely cover the paths, which is starting to do again now, and you can't really get down here, so it wasn't sort of an area that I did come to. So pretty much it was quite a badly designed part of the garden. But this will change because as you know from all the previous videos, I am changing pretty much all my garden, but the bottom third especially, and it will mean opening up this area. So before we talk about that in detail, let's have a look at what's actually here right now. So yes, we've got the tree ferns. So we've got a double header there with a small side second head down there. This one's also a double header with another one around the corner. We've got this proper double header. It's two pretty much fused at the base and then grown up over many years like this. We've got a bit of a bendy trunk one here. And we've got one that's not doing so well at an angle, covered in ivy. And that is sort of the story of this part of the garden. Like I said, it's not being looked after pretty much because I don't come down here. But some plants have thrived, including this beautiful Fatsia variegator, which you rarely see. You see the Fatsia annelise or camouflage or spider's web, but just a straight variegator you rarely see. And this one's grown superbly well, completely neglected, never watered by me, but it's come over the path. So there was a path, obviously in the middle of digging it up, as you can see. There's nothing underneath me there, but I've still left a bit down there of the decking path, and the actual plant is way down there in the corner, underneath the fence there pretty much, and it's grown forward and up where I wanted it to grow over there, but the strongest growth has actually come out towards where I'm standing, and it's probably a good 2.5 meters from the base down there to these leaves here. So the depth is quite substantial, and this is pretty much, you know, coming out, growing really well, but I don't want it here, so I am actually probably going to cut this right down. So I'm going to lose all this beautiful growth just so I can get this space back, reclaiming that space. So that'd be a shame, but it will grow up over there, which is where I want it. There are some other plants here, including this Camadoria hardy parlour palm. This is radicalis. There was a couple of other different Camadoria down here. This is the only one that survived. There was 4 initially. There's beautiful leaves, feather-like leaves, hardy as well. Doesn't mind the dry shade because it's in very dry shade here. There was another Camadora here, which you can see the stalk or the stem from, it's gone. There was one that was growing probably close to a metre tall, and it's been cut back down to ground, and you can see down there it's coming back from the ground, but again it's not being watered or anything by me. It's very dry, but they should be able to cope with a dry shade. And there's also a polycarpa, and this is the Edward Needham form down here. It's grown up to about 1.25 meters tall, something like that, maybe 1.5 meters at the top of the flush there. Again, that's doing okay. It's not looking brilliantly, but it's doing okay, and everything is sort of covered by the laurel above, which I did cut back about 8-9 years ago. It probably needs more cutting back now, and you can actually see, look at the yellowing leaves. It's May. That is struggling because it's so dry. It's the driest spring pretty much on record, or in for a very long time. And here we can see how the Fatsias and the polycarpa there intermingle. Behind we've got the hawthorn hedge and a bamboo. We've got Phylostachys aurea. I've got a couple of plants, one there, one there. It's hard to make out against the hawthorn hedge, and they're pretty well behaved. They can't really grow far this direction because we have this deck in here. You can see the bottom of the plant there. You can see the base of the hawthorn. We've got ivies and all sorts growing through as well. You can see how some of the culms are pretty thick, like the one in centre there. You've got the thinner, older ones to the right. So that's what's growing there. We also have a cast iron plant that's been looking good for years, but look at it now. A lot of this is dying off, and this isn't winter damage. I think it's got so dry here, and it's just not looking happy. So I might have to, well, I will be tidying this whole area up anyway. So we'll see if we can make that look better. But the rest of the ground is just a mat of tree fern roots and laurel leaves, so it's not the nicest area, so we'll be completely changing this area in terms of planting it. On this side here, it's just tree fern, debris and roots and very little else. So you can see why I want to change this area and why I want to bring it out into part of the garden. So that's what it looks like. Oh, the tetrapanax above us as well. That's quite a tall plant now, not huge leaves on that specimen, and that sort of swings round and comes from that direction. So you can see why I want to change this area. Now the path is going to come down here towards me and then come out that direction, which will mean cutting these lower branches of the eucalyptus tree, and it will also mean moving a few tree ferns, including this double header. But I won't have to move it far, because literally I'm going to just cut round it and push it, and it's just going to go in that space there. So this will be pushed back over there so that the path can come round here easily without the tree ferns being in the way, and follow it round and go this way. Obviously this tree fern will have to move as well so that the path can nicely go around and then go off to that part of the garden before drawing up with a new path, returning around that side of the garden. So this area that I rarely show, it is for a reason. It's because there's nothing much in this corner, not too much interest, but that will change when we move the tree ferns, open up the paths and actually plant some new plants all in this area that are going to be shade tolerant, dry tolerant, and hopefully have interest all year round. So that's a plan, and it also means moving or chopping back this Fatsia variegata, which is a beautiful specimen. So watch this space. I will be getting on with this very soon. Thanks for watching.